Today we'll be reviewing The Authenticity Project, a novel by Claire Pooley and the famous Netflix series Bridgeton. This is our review therapy episode.
Hi everyone, welcome to TalktousToday. I'm Namita.
And I'm Simrit. And today is our review therapy episode. And if you've been watching, you know what this is about. It's about reviewing books and novels and some shows and movies that we enjoy. And sometimes we do some different reviews as well.
Right.
I truly love this episode because, I'm passionate about my books and I love reading. And this is especially true when I read a book that I enjoy, because then I'm so excited to discuss it. I'll grab a hold of anyone, even my husband, to discuss what I want and what I love reading.
I bet you do that.
And he has no interest in this. So actually, this is the reason that about 20 years ago, I've always loved reading. And 20 years ago, I was like so excited about discussing my books that me and a bunch of friends, we just got together and started our book club. And we would just read the book, we'd take a month over it and then discuss it. And it was some of our best times were at the book club. But, we all go through this, even the most avid reader, that there comes a time when you don't feel like picking up the next book. And it becomes really hard. Like you're still reading because it's part of you and you every evening or every night you want to read. But then, past couple of months, I was going through this where I just didn't feel like reading that much and I was pushing myself. But then this random book comes across, or this recommended book, and it's just what you needed to remind yourself that why you love reading. So today's discussion about the Authenticity Project is one of those books. And I'm so excited to discuss this with you. But let's first hear from Namita. And believe it or not, everything that she reviews, normally I haven't watched it and then I start watching it. So she's reviewing the Bridgeton series. And I think she's just as excited as I am, because she's been talking about it nonstop.
Oh yeah, Simran, I just love the series. I am super excited. Do you remember when we talked to Kamali Mehta in one of her shows, and she mentioned about, she always wanted to live a life of those British princes, or where they would just go to the ballroom dances and those not British, European princesses, ballroom dancing and get-togethers.
Yeah.
Yes, European princesses, right. So those gala dinners and get-togethers is all about having children and the family and just doing all that stuff. Remember? So
yes, yes, I do remember.
I know this whole fantasy comes from these, those period movies that we have watched, and we try to fantasize ourselves into those eras. So it is based on this popular. Yeah, this is based on this popular book series by Julia Quinn about, the Bridgeton family. And she talks in every book, she talks about one Bridgeton child. So the one is like Duke and I is the first season of this Bridgeton. And the Viscount Who Loved Me is the second season. So let's see. Okay. So, this set against the backdrop of those Regency era. That's like British era in 1811 or 1820, I guess. Yeah, it is all about these 8 close-knit siblings of these noble, powerful Bridgeton family. Yeah, the set in England. It is set in England, yeah, but it is an American series. Okay, so
okay,
interesting, but yeah. So the whole it's all really this social season that used to happen. That social season begins when the family introduces their youth for marriage, and then start the whole cycle of ballroom dancing and lunches and get together. All these young boys and girls compete with one another to impress one another, find the best match, and being surrounded by the loved ones or families or the rivals, and keep looking for the perfect match for themselves. And these mothers like pushing their kids, all those pushing them hard to get a proposal this season types, just like our Indian mother.
They're coming out, right? It's their what now families do. I mean, not now, hopefully it
Thanks.
changes, but yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of families where they go to the marriage brokers. This is our girl. So this is
Yes.
their version of that. That the
Exact.
debutante
Yes.
is organized. Really, because I was a little, one of my son's friends, she was asking me because I made her read Pride and Prejudice. She asked me, she goes, "So, Auntie, what is the debut all about?" So I'm like, okay, so there was not that much mixing of sexes. So these
Hmm.
debutantes, they were allowed to meet each other, but there was
Yes.
only so much that they could do. So it had to be gatherings. So yeah. So
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
the clothes must be amazing.
Oh my God.
And the
Clothes and
clothes must
this.
be so amazing. And
Yeah, clothes and the set and the gala dinner or the lunch. Oh my God. It's like, oh my God, this is like, and beautiful. And group talks, and then they're having different events and where these, these girls are also playing and the boys are also playing. And sometimes they have like, they invite the family for a poetry session where the guy is trying to recite a poetry and try to impress the girl. Oh look, oh my God, he's a poet as well. He's like, it's like every, you just need to
oh,
get that proposal kind of a thing. You have to get it.
the most eligible bachelor.
Exactly, the most. And so they will call it Viscount and Viscountess. So that was like most eligible would be the Viscount of a good, especially in this series, it's the Bridgeton
Oh,
Bridgeton family Viscount has been focused on. So, and who they said that this is what they look for. Oh, she knows knitting, or she knows cooking, or she can handle this. Checklist, check, 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 check. Okay, now she could be my Viscount, and now I have to impress her, which is interesting. But
and
this
the
first season
most
is all about this lady Whistledown and how she creates scandals and how this whole thing goes around. But the second season is like amazing. I love the second season the most, falling in love sort of thing. I don't know, maybe there's an Indian character was
wow.
introduced in this season, which is really like, oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Indian dusky beauty. Completely dusky beauties, and they create an impact on a rich, powerful, most handsome Viscount of the season. And I mean, I just love this whole love and lust stories. I mean, which has been created in this lot of episodes of this season, which is crazy. I loved it.
It can't
Last
be
season
anything.
was more of sexing, but this one is all about love, basically. So it was like you had that lust, but
That's what I'm
love,
saying. They can't show.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't show sex because it was a
yes,
lot more
part of it.
from
Yeah,
just
just do not watch this for a reason that you're looking for some facts about history, or history was about that, or no, because then you'll be totally disappointed. Watch is like you watch
but
any superhero movie or sci-fi movies with this whole thought, what if it was like that, you know it's that kind of a setup. So like, I mean, just like a made of fantasies. So
I
total
yeah.
escapism, and I love escapism.
Our
So
favorite word, escapism.
yes. So positively, I
Yeah.
enjoy the show's diversity. It's amazing how they have choose to represent not only the only white, powerful white character. I mean, powerful white characters, but also the people with different colors, where it comes the black royals, which was something not part of the history, or like Sharma's Indian family being introduced.
So
So
there's
I'm
no
sure.
basis in history because Sharmas were like who couldn't travel to UK for sure in those days. But
No
it's
basis, yeah.
great. But it's great for equality and it's politically correct.
Yeah, it just, it's like today, just the whole setup of the past, but life is today. It's like that. And, but I loved it. And, fantastic music, very well acting done by all the characters. It actually takes you to this beautiful dream where everything looks perfect. It's just like the way you have always imagined the fairy tales. So, well, I don't want to give any more spoilers. So 5 stars from my side for season 2 and 4 stars for season 1. Just watch it.
So can you see season 2 without season 1? Can you see
Yeah, you
season 2
you
without?
can actually. You can.
Okay,
You
I'm
can.
going to do that then. Right.
Yes.
So there you have it. You have me hooked for season 2, especially with the Indian actress coming in and the diversity shown. I'm looking forward to that. I will
Yeah.
watch it report back. So
Yes.
I am discussing a book I'm really excited about. I got my book club to read it today too, this time too. And so this is the Authenticity Project. And it's a really simple novel. It's a quick read, guys. For most of us, it's like a 3 to 4 day read, like really simple. When you're like even in between, it's when you're working and stuff, it's just a 3, 4 day read. It's a simple novel about human behavior.
Okay.
Now, I want to say from the start, it's a feel good read, and maybe that's what I wanted. Normally, I like a book with a lot of depth in it, but this has a bit of fluff in it, and it was good. It was well done. Most times, you want to go for a book that has deeper meaning, and this has a deeper meaning, but it's presented with a lot of fluff. And but I connected with it and enjoyed this thoroughly. It has simple plot lines and uncomplicated characters. Like they're flawed, but they're uncomplicated. So it begins. It's basically
Okay.
a story about 6 strangers who get connected through this one notebook, which the guy, one of the main characters is Julian Jessup, and he's a 79-year-old, eccentric old artist, and he's alone, and he's quite lonely, in fact. He's self-described. So what he does is he takes a green notebook and he writes the Authenticity Project on it. And he takes a couple of pages where he starts with the premise, like he just writes on it that, do you really know your neighbors? How well do you know the neighbors around you? How well do they know you? Are you authentic in your life? Do people really know what's going on in your heart? And right away, like you kind of get roped into this, that no, that's, how authentic are you is the premise of. And then he goes on to write that I'm Julian Jessup,
Okay.
has been artist. I'm 79 years old and I am really lonely and I live by myself and my wife, blah, blah, blah. And so he goes on. And then he leaves the notebook lying around somewhere and he leaves it at a neighborhood cafe called Monica's Cafe. And so the cafe owner picks it up and she's so intrigued. She looks up this artist and da 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 da, whatever. And then she realizes like how unauthentic her life is as well and what she's really craving.
Oh,
And so she goes out of her way to help Julian and creates a circle of friends. So her cafe becomes the focal point of this book. And then she writes on it and leaves it randomly somewhere. And another poet. So it's the butterfly
wow.
and then how people start
I
getting connected and helping each other through. So this one person is a recovering drug addict and his life was in shambles. And I mean, it's really simply done, but it shows how what we discussed last time and people really appreciated it a couple of weeks ago, that people are nice at the core even when they seem bad. So people
yeah.
help each other out. and,
Yes.
and people, like when people say that human nature is bad, I actually disagree with that. Human nature is good, but the world makes you kind of like evil and selfish and survival.
Yeah. Wow.
But so anyways, so this is how these 6 people get connected. And there's a character who's this influencer, Instagrammer, and she's a new mom and she's facing postpartum depression. But because the Instagram has to always be perfect, right? So how unauthentic her life is. And it just goes on and this circle of friends increases. And then there's drama in the circle. And so it's really a novel which would make for
Mm.
a beautiful, short mini series or a movie, just one of those Christmas watches. Or
Yeah.
it's really
I Sumit, I love the whole idea of just writing in the notebook about you and just leaving it anywhere. And
yeah, because when
that's
you write, it's almost like it's anonymous, except that it doesn't become
yes.
anonymous because you tell who you are. I mean, I can see people wanting to do that. In India, don't do it. It's scary. Like you don't want to tell your address. Like,
Yeah.
but people do it on Facebook and Instagram all the time. They tell where they are, whatever. But it was really, I mean, I think, Namita, I was thinking about this when I was going to do this show, that you would love this book because it's a very simple, it's like, it's the story of, it's one of those Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. It's one of those YOLO, you live only once.
Yeah.
Go and like make an impact in the world, get more connected to people, develop people relationships, get off social media. That seems to be our mantra lately, doesn't it? Clean your lives up, get off of alcohol and drugs, and look forward how you can help people. So it's one of those, and you sit around the local neighborhood cafe and you develop friends, and then I just loved the simplicity of the book, and it was what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's
Enjoyed the flawed characters, and I know the premise isn't always real, but yeah, I mean, that's how it is. It seems Clara Pooley does make it look easier than it was, I'll tell you that. She makes it look flawless, like, oh, you could just connect with people like that.
wow.
That I wonder, is it that easy, and we just have our lives more I think when you're single, it may be a little bit easier to connect. I don't know, we have so many responsibilities, so it becomes harder.
Yeah, exactly.
I really did enjoy this. So I'll give it 4 stars, but the only reason I'm cutting a star is it's not that deep, and there's a lot of fluff in it. But if you're looking for that, then it's a 5 out of 5. It's a full thumbs up. And like when they show, as an example of how the fluff is, they show an addict trying to recover from his like drug addiction and his like high finance job, and like he's an alcohol, but then they just show him going away somewhere, and I'm not giving spoilers, so I'm not telling, and then he just detox on his own. It's not always that easy. I mean, let's when your mind is made up.
Yeah, I know it's not. Yeah, I mean, I love the whole idea. I think I would definitely gonna read this book for sure, Simrit. I love these feel good I mean, movies or shows or books. So yes, you were
especially in this kind of weather where it's so gloomy and it's freezing. Pick this up. I don't think most of us will be disappointed. It's nice. I really liked it, and we haven't had our book club meeting yet, but from whoever's called, they're like, oh, what a great book. And so I think everybody will. So go for it. I'm going to give it to you, Namita, when I see you.
Great. Yes, I would definitely take it. So there you have it. 4 stars for Authenticity Project, and 4 stars for Bridgeton Season 1, and 5 stars for Bridgeton Season 2. So guys, go and just read the book and watch the show. That's all on Talk to Us today. But we look forward to hearing from you all. So please tell us what you thought about our review therapy segment by sending us an email at hello@talktoustoday.com, and
just read it below.
Yes, and use the comment section below to share your reviews, and let your friends know where to find us.
Also, don't forget to follow us on our podcast on Spotify under the same name, Talk to Us Today. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m. Thank you guys always for watching our show. We are highly grateful.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us today. Remember to talk about Talk to Us Today. Keep smiling, keep laughing, and keep smiling.
Bye.